All right, welcome back to Market Day Report. I'm Scott Shellady, otherwise known as the Cow Guy. Thank you very much for tuning us in. We're having a good time today, a little bit better than yesterday's prices, right? So we can, a little bit of a pep in our step, a little smile going on. Let's take a look and see if we're continuing with it. Let's start with corn, right? Everything's higher today after yesterday's debacle. 6 cents higher in that corn price to 446 1/4. That's March. 3/4 of a cent off the high of the day, 447. We've had a decent range, right? About, 10.5 cents. So there you go. 6 cents higher is the change. And we're about, 3/4 of a cent off the high of the day. That's good. That's March. May's up at 457. That's up 6.5 cents as well. Let's go to the new crop and see where that's at real quick. I'm going to do a little bit of a drive-by there. We're up 4 3/4, 479 1/4 last there. That really hasn't moved. 479 1/4 for the new crop Ds. Let's go to soybeans. They are a little bit higher here today. Actually, a lot of it higher. 17 3/4 cents higher. 12.12 in the March. We got a 12 handle back on it again after yesterday's ugly day. And we're not too far from the highs, about 3 cents. May's up 16 cents to 12.21 even. Let's take a look at the new crop. That's the Novi beans. What's that got in store for us? We're trying to make a move towards 12. I think we stalled out here a little bit. Yep. 11.92 is last. We're up 11 3/4 cents. That's about 1% on the day. Chicago wheat. Let's take a look at that. That's going to be higher by about 9 1/4 cents. There you go. 602 3/4 is last. We're just a tick off the high of the day. That's March. May's up 8 3/4 cents to 612. Now 9 cents higher to 612 3/4, and that is ding, 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 a new high on the day. That's Chicago wheat. From Chicago, let's move over to see what's going on in Kansas City. That's going to be the hard red. 11 1/4 cents higher in that March contract. 629 1/2 is last, and that's only 3/4 of a cent off the high of the day. We've got an 8.5 cent higher board in May. 626 3/4 last there. Moving from the hard red in Kansas City, we go to the spring wheat in Minneapolis. That's higher by 4 1/4 cents to 697 1/2. Trying to put a 7 handle in front of it. And we've got a May board up 4 3/4 cents to 702 3/4. Quickly, we'll take a look at cotton. It was up about 20 points the last time we were there. Now we're about 30 points higher. 31 points higher to be exact. 84.57 is last, and that's March cotton. Let's bring in our next guest analyst. It's the famous Tommy Grisafi. He's with Advanced Trading. He's in Bloomington, Illinois now. It says Valpo, but I think it's Bloomington. All right, Tommy, anything jump off the page at you when we talk about these grain prices? It's much better than it was yesterday, that's for sure.
Sure, but from dollars per acre, not a whole lot's changed. We know we can't go down forever. It doesn't take a genius analyst. I'm sure every person who comes on this TV says close to the same thing. That we're going to bounce, we're going to have demand. The scary thing is the demand didn't show up. So if we don't have big sales in the next few days, that is absolutely scary that we have cash corn under $4 in parts of the United States. What's scarier is you can't get the American farmer to stop planting corn. You and I, when we go down the pits, if we had a bad day, we didn't have to come back the next day. Sometimes we went out the night before and we couldn't make it back the next day. But the American farmer doesn't get to do that. So here's the deal. The American farmer's long 1.5 years worth of corn. I'm down at corporate office. We had a big meeting today. They're long about, as best we can tell, Advanced Trading, 60% of their old crop corn, they're long it. In their bins, at the elevator, paying storage, some way, they have risk exposure downside of 60% of their old crop. And we figure the American farmer's long 90% of 2024 corn. So when you're in a bull market, it feels great. You're smart. You think your IQ's higher. When we go down, as hard as we have in multiple years, both old crop in March of 24 and then Dece of 24, the amount of dollars being lost that you can't actually see because no one wrote a check back and forth, they're just going to get so much less for their product that they paid so much to put in the ground, Scotty. And so the risk, this sounds stupid, but the risk is still we go down. And if we have a 2.7, 2.8, when I was doing your job last week, I had a lot of good chance to talk to some great analysts. If we have a 2.7, 2.8 carryout, if Mother Nature's kind in 2024, we could easily go down to 350 corn. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope we get a ton of hate mail saying I'm absolutely wrong and I'm an idiot. That would make me really happy. But if I'm right, there's going to be pain in the ag economy within 18 months.
Yeah, that's the problem. And we had another guy on earlier today, Bill Havertape from 88 Hedge in Cedar Rapids. He's got the same worries you do, and it's hard to argue with, And he's saying, they're getting some decent rain now, and the ground's not frozen. It's going to sink in. That's going to help. And you're right. If Mother Nature complies, boy, oh boy, yeah, it's going to be a tough one, and especially when everybody's. I don't have the price and the references that you do as far as research goes. But 60% of last year's crop and 90% of the one, that seems like a lot to me.
You want to know how we know that? Because we work with hundreds and hundreds of grain elevators. And as a grain elevator buys corn, they immediately sell a future, right?
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
Absolutely.
We know exactly how many futures are short for hundreds and hundreds of elevators. So if we work with 1/6 or 1/8 of every elevator in America, we have an excellent understanding of how forward sold the farmer is, because an elevator just doesn't wake up one day and get short futures. Okay, there's rules and laws and bylaws and all that. So it's not fake math. It wasn't me trying to be cute and to impress everyone. And I do want to impress you. I got to tell you something. I know we got to go on break.
Yeah, we do.
It is not easy to be you. To do your job, what I did last week.
Here we go. All right.
It is not easy to be you.
Yeah, well, you're okay. Let's go. Let's move along. All right. Let's take a quick break. I'll catch my breath. You can catch yours. We're going to come back and we got to talk about livestock with Tommy Grisafi. He's with Advanced Trading. He's in Bloomington. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Let's talk about livestock real quick. I kind of went over there. Let's take a look and see what we got going on in live cattle. I got that one up. Folks, I don't want to dwell on this, but it's quiet, right? We're up 40 cents. We have had an 82 cent range in Feb. 177.75 is the price. April's up 17 cents to 181.40. That's 3 ticks off the high of the day. And we've had a dollar range just over. So nothing going on there. Let's move along. Feeder cattle, what do we have going on there? Well, we got March up by $2 at 240.62. And we're going to call that about, 37 cents off the high of the day. Not bad. We've had a decent range of almost $3. We're $1.50 higher in the April, right behind it at 246.10. And if I take a look at lean hogs, I remember they were doing all right, and they are, right? Feb's up 85 cents to 76.12. But look at the April, up $2.17 to 85.60. That's 32 cents off the high of the day. All right, let's bring back in Tommy Grisafi. He's with the Advanced Trading. Thanks for sticking around, Tommy. Got some thoughts on livestock? Is the sentiment turned?
Cattle are acting okay. They've had a chance to flush them out, and they haven't went. It looked like they were topping off the other day. We were up real good yesterday and immediately sold off. I'm interested in how they close. We have a cattle report tomorrow. My coworker Brady Huck talked about it, and he says it's the biannual cattle inventory. Brady Huck, Dodge City, Kansas. Thank you, Brady, for texting me. So we have that, and he's going to talk about that. And there's, the cattle guy has choices. They have this LRP insurance, but one choice the cattle guy doesn't have, unlike our corn farmer, is they can't store them. I don't know how much you know about cattle, but they don't store well in a bin. Did you know that, Scotty?
Yeah, we had a small cow-calf operation, so I can confirm that's the case, yes.
Yeah, and so I like working with the cattle guy because when the cattle guy grows extra grain, they're used to selling their product. They have a different mentality than the store and ignore farmer. They have to move their product. And once again, like we said in the first segment, when we had a bad day at the Board of Trade and got kicked in the face, if we wanted to take a few days off, we could. When you're in the cattle business, you don't get to take days off because we go limit down for a few days. You're still raising that animal. I believe on your segment on Cow Guy Close, we're going to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, same with that dairy farm. There's no taking any days off there. She's got to be milked, whether or not you're out with your buddies or not. She's got to be milked in the morning. All right, Tommy, thanks,
Scotty, at this point, I'll have to be mated because I don't know if I have 6 people to carry me. So,
all right, take it easy. All right, let's bring it back here. Thank you very much, Tommy Grisafi, Advanced Trading. I'll throw it over to you, Suzanne.